On today's show, a self-driving car is taking a road trip across the country.
And Nintendo is announcing some really cool new things for your mobile devices.
Delightful. Can't wait to hear about that. And we have Lockheed Martin's next-gen space cargo plans. It's not a Millennium Falcon. Sorry to disappoint. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe.
It really is. You've got the best graphics, the robot guy.
It's true.
This is awesome.
I'm your host, Ashley Skella. Joining me today, Armen Atoyan from Hey Armen.
Yeah, also known as Hey Armen on the interwebs.
All over the interwebs. Hey Armen. One of my favorite nerds. Armen, one of my favorite nerds.
Kind of a nerdy guy. I've got
cosplayer.
Cosplayer, Batman specifically, and Pokemon everything.
Yeah, he's
all about it.
All about Pokemon. This is a Pikachu phone case down here. He's legit, okay? He's legit, you guys.
I love it.
So we have some really fun and interesting stuff. We're gonna do maybe a little bit of a deep dive into Nintendo, because we've got a lot to say about it. So we're both Nintendo fans. So let's not waste any time. Let's hit the headlines. I know, it's exciting. We have all our little graphics and stuff.
I know, it's cool that you actually get to see them too, right?
You do.
Right.
So first things first, we gotta talk about this self-driving car.
Okay, so this is crazy, and
It's
can't
amazing.
wait to hear about this.
I love it. So at CES, there was a car, and Delphi sort of tricked it out. It was an Audi luxury SUV, and they sent it self-driving from San Francisco to Vegas. So this thing showed up at CES in Las Vegas and had driven itself from San Francisco, which is pretty cool. So you can see the SUV here. It's like this lovely Delphi.
So awesome. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, it's an Audi thing, but then I was like, no, it's not. And it just reminds me of Minority Report with the all self-driving cars.
Yeah, and the magnetic freeways and stuff.
Right, the whole time I'm just like,
Super
where's
weird.
the stunt guy in the chair that you just can't see?
Well, there's the stunt guy in the chair. Now
just
you
a
can actually
dummy
see
guy.
the stunt guy in the chair. So they're doing a second road trip, and this one is going to be quite a bit longer than a trek just from San Francisco to Vegas. This trip is going from San Francisco to New York City.
That's such a far drive. That's
That
a
is a long
5-hour
drive.
flight from where we are right now.
That is a long, boring drive.
Could you imagine? But at least no one really has to drive it, right? It's just like the little dummy guy with a computer in his brain.
Kind of. So they have that's an actual person. So in the driver's seat, they have an actual person
That
they have
wasn't
to
a
be
plastic
able.
hand?
No, it looks like it is though. You're right. It does kind of look like a plastic
It kind of
hand.
looks like a prosthetic
It
hand.
looks like a fake mannequin person. So what they're doing is, because of laws, and there's a lot of still not kind of solidified laws having to do with self-driving cars, you have to have a driver in the seat in case the car malfunctions. And then on top of that, this car, as it's driving down the highway, is going to self-drive. However, when it exits the freeway every night, after 8 hours of driving straight every day, the person takes control of the car.
I just think the future is so cool, and if I don't have to drive while in traffic, do you know how productive we could be in Los Angeles?
I could get a lot done. If I didn't have to drive everywhere, if I didn't have to sit in traffic all the time, that's like an extra 3 hours out of my day that I can add.
It takes an hour to get like 3 miles.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
lot
true.
of time I could be productive.
That is very true.
I love that.
Okay, so let's talk about Nintendo. This is the big story of today, I think. Just because this is a big news. This is a big piece of news.
When I got this, I was so excited because Nintendo is my thing. It's my favorite platform of any of them.
Yeah.
Mario, when you think of a video game character, you instantly think of like Mario or one of those types of characters, a Zelda.
Link. Yeah, you got Link and Zelda. You got Pikachu. A
So-
lot of familiar faces in their franchises.
Yeah, so the fact that they're partnering now with DNA, which is a mobile like designing platform that helps create mobile games, Nintendo is one step closer to our cell phones, which I love because what do you have everywhere? You have your cell phone. You don't always
true.
have your Nintendo DS. You don't have your game system at home in front of the television. So now we can be mobile all the time. But my biggest question is, how is this going to actually work?
Well, so Satoru Iwata at this press conference, they had a press conference. It wasn't a Nintendo Direct. And they talked about sort of where they were going to the shareholders and all this other stuff. And so they're going in this pipe, this Mario 3D World pipe. So they're going to get into mobile with DNA. So DMA, if you haven't played any of their games, they have a lot of sort of either free-to-play or low-cost games with in-app purchases, things like that. And Nintendo has previously said that if they did get into mobile and that they were thinking about it, that it would be games that or apps that would enhance their franchises and encourage people to seek out full games on the Wii U or whatever hardware it is that they have currently.
Which is totally smart. It's almost like an interactive ad campaign, really, at the end of the day.
So true.
And they already said you're not going to see like Zelda Oracle of Time on your iPhone. You're going to see like separate little mini games. I'm thinking like puzzles or a lot of camera applications, like snap pick type things.
Well, you were saying with Pokemon.
Pokemon. They need like a Pokemon Dex type thing.
Yeah, the
or
Pokedex,
Pokemon Snap. That was like the
Pokemon
best
Snap.
game ever. That was so ahead of its time. It would be perfect on your phone.
Remember on the Nintendo 64 for Super Mario, they had you could squish around Mario's face.
Yes.
So like you could do that. They also mentioned an online membership service that would connect all of your devices, like cross-platform. So PC.
That seems
consoles.
natural.
They've needed to do that for a long time.
That's barely coming to like Nintendo 3DS.
We have that on PlayStation. You have the PlayStation app. You can add friends and stuff like
Everyone
that.
has that. Even my calendar
Xbox
has
One,
that.
This needs to happen. So, and that'll I guess be around probably in the fall, like they were saying.
Yeah, they were saying autumn time. So
which is right around when Club
fall.
Nintendo is closing down. So convenient. But that brings us to our hashtag of the day. So TD Nintendo is our hashtag of the day. We may have used TD Nintendo before, but I think because they're not making games that are actual ports of previously existing games. What games, no ports, what games do you want to see on mobile from Nintendo? What types of games? What would it be? Who would it star? What's the thing?
Honestly, I want to see like a bunch of jumping app games that are just really easily, almost like my favorite games are mindless games or those crazy puzzle games.
Yeah.
So one or the other I'd be totally content with. Like Mario jumping just up and up and up and up and up through the castle, or we were talking earlier about like the town city
Yeah, see, that was the
games.
one I guessed.
My brain's spacing on it right now.
I love this idea of like we have like The Simpsons and we have all of the little Sim City type of games where it's like a
build
simulation.
your town and like
you build the Mushroom
collect
Kingdom.
the coins. And
I like that. You build out the Mushroom Kingdom. You have like little toadstools in the shops and stuff.
Yeah, that would be great. And it makes sense
really
on mobile, but it doesn't make sense anywhere else.
Right.
So it's kind of perfect.
So I think we're going to see a lot of free-to-play games. A lot of people might ask, you're probably at home and you're hearing this news and you go, why not just open the floodgates? Let's put Legend of Zelda, let's say Legend of Zelda, put it on mobile, I'll buy it, I'll pay $5 for it. Okay, let's talk about this because I've done the math and I want you to understand why that's not a viable option for Nintendo. Because so many people go, it's so simple. Why don't they just do that? They should put their back catalog on mobile devices. It's crazy for them not to.
But nobody wants that. Like, I mean, not the real demographic of apps.
Of mobile.
They're not going to want that.
Yeah, next gen, like kids now, they don't care about 8-bit games. Okay,
No,
so
they're
maybe
like-
we do.
They're like, what's this bad resolution? Like,
Right.
why can't
Why does everything look
why
terrible?
can't I see it on my HD screen?
Why does it look bad? So the big thing is this. Okay, let's all do the math together. Legend of Zelda. Let's say we're going to put it out on iOS and Android. First of all, first thing.
Should I get my calculator out for this?
No,
and
we'll
make
just
it
add it
extra
up.
fun?
We'll just
Okay.
add it up. Okay. So if you want Legend of Zelda right now on a virtual console, you either need to have a Wii, which you've already bought,
Yeah.
or you need to go out and buy a Wii U. So you get, let's say you are obsessed with Legend of Zelda, you're jonesing for it, you got some extra spending cash, you go, I'm gonna get a Wii U, there's maybe some other games that I wanna buy, fine. So you go and you buy your Wii U. That's $300.
$300 really by the time you're out the door.
$249 maybe if you find a good deal. Okay. So $249, let's just say that. $249 you find a good deal and
Plus
it's
the game.
plus the game. So that's like another $10. $10. Then you have you got your controller. It comes with a gamepad, but maybe you want a pro controller. Okay, so then you buy a pro controller. It's another $60. Then you go, well, I got this Wii U hanging around with an extra controller, so I might as well buy Hyrule Warriors. Well, that's $40. Then you go, gosh, I really like Mario Kart. It looks cool. That's another $60. Nintendo has made a bunch of money off of you. As opposed to them saying, gosh, let's put Legend of Zelda on the iPad for $1 or $5. Like, that doesn't make sense.
And that's before Apple takes a cut.
Right, that's before Apple's 30%. And on top of that, Nintendo didn't make this. Someone else did. A manufacturer did they're not getting any money off of the sale of the hardware.
Yeah, and also like the biggest thing I have with that is the gameplay. Yeah, you have a pad on your Nintendo U, but you don't like how there's no buttons on this.
Yeah, the
Like,
Wii
what are
U
you
is
supposed
like a
to
full
do?
controller
There's
with
no X,
a
there's
screen.
no Y, there's no joystick, there's no nothing. And yeah, you can simulate them,
Right.
but it's not the same. It's a very different type of gameplay.
Right. So maybe in the future, Nintendo, if you're listening, like, yes, we would probably enjoy having our 3DS act as a controller for the next gen console or something similar, whatever your next handheld is, act as a controller. That would be amazing. I would love that. But at the end of the day, I really feel that it's very not seeing the forest through the trees type of thing, where people are willing to cut off Nintendo's nose to spite their face just so they can have Castlevania 2 on their iPad, which, listen, I would like that too, but I understand what that means. It would be very bad for Nintendo money-wise, like, to do that, because you're cutting off all of your hardware. You're disincentivizing buying a console or buying a 3DS. So that's my thing. All right. We got
so
I know, there's so much.
We could talk about this
it all
forever.
day.
We really could.
Let's talk about our last story, Space Cargo 2.0. This is really cool. Lockheed Martin, who does a lot of different stuff with aeronautics and vehicles and all kinds of things. I love some of the stuff they do. They presented this proposal that showed off their ideas of next-gen commercial spacecraft this week, which I thought was very exciting. So these cargo ships are designed to ferry supplies to the ISS, but also Lockheed Martin is hoping that someday they would be used for manned deep space missions. So we would maybe send somebody to Mars in one of these things. So this actually came about because it's a proposal for NASA's Commercial Resupply Services 2 program, which is called CRS-2. And it consists of two parts. So this is Jupiter. Part of this is Jupiter.
Okay.
And Jupiter is a reusable orbital vehicle. And then attached to that is Exoliner. An Exoliner is a giant shipping container that goes into space. And then there's a robotic arm that sort of it helps with operations. So Jupiter is really interesting because it can be reused, but it can't come back. It can't come back to Earth. So the goal is that Jupiter would make a delivery with Exoliner attached. Like, it would get launched off on a rocket, like an Atlas V rocket, get launched into space, go to the ISS, rendezvous, drop off a cargo load, and then hang out in orbit until a new Atlas launched with another Exoliner cargo container, and then brought that up, and then Jupiter would take that, ferry it over the ISS, and continue the process. And then these Exoliners would fall and burn up in re-entry. So they would go back to Earth and then just burn up in the atmosphere. So super cool.
Space is so cool.
I know.
Just the fact that like any of this is even possible is just a whole nother level that I can't even handle.
It's pretty great. And it's supposed to be a lot less expensive because, you know, obviously you're not shooting a Jupiter and an Exoliner up every time. Like, you only need Exoliner to go up. And then on top of that, you can actually put more weight in the cargo because you're not shipping up this, you know, this robotic orbital sort of operational thing. So I thought that was really, really cool. They were saying that because there's not a Jupiter in every single launch, it would mean, you know, that they want to do this initial kind of swap. Okay. So as a test, they want to send up a Jupiter and an Exoliner, have it make a drop, and then send up another one, just like I said, send up another Exoliner, have the Jupiter pick that up, and then drop that too as a test. But we'll see. I don't know. It might not get approved. I mean, who knows? But this is their idea. This is their proposal to do it.
NASA, keep doing you.
Space shipping, guys. Space shipping. How would you like to be a UPS
right?
person? Pack that up.
I wonder
send
what
it up.
like a ship name would be for this ship. Should we come up with one?
It would be like the Space Postal Service, SPS.
SPS.
Instead of the USPS and UPS, it'd just be SPS.
SPS.
Space.
That would be so expensive.
It would be really
That
expensive.
would be the most expensive package you've ever sent.
But
in your
could
life.
you still get Amazon Prime from the ISS? Could you order something and just get 2 day shipping? I don't think. But maybe free shipping.
I hope so. Well, if drones can be possible.
That's true. That's true. Maybe.
I'm sure they're already working on it. They're pre-planning for when we can have like vacations in space.
That's true. That's very true. So yeah, that's I thought that was really cool. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about new releases because it's Tuesday and we love new releases. And then we have your user feedback and our phone talker for the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. And this is a heated nickel ball inside GAC. I hope you never ate any of this when you were a kid.
If our
Welcome back to the show. We have returned. It is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday, and it's St. Patrick's Day.
It is. I'm wearing green.
I forgot to wear green. I'm one of those people.
My socks are also green, so we'll count that for you too. They're green with pink spots.
We'll swap socks.
Yeah, we'll switch socks. And
I'm
then
just
nobody will
wearing-
pinch you.
Right? I'm just wearing black from head to toe, kind of.
Way to go.
But my hair is kind of green.
There's some green in your hair.
So I'm
take that.
counting that.
Can we see if we can see that? Can you look at can we see any green in there? Is it it's like right here. I see it.
It's there. It's
I can
very
see it.
subtle.
It's subtle, but it's there.
I'll
You're
just-
wearing green.
I'll
You
just
agree.
change the background of my phone to something really green,
Good.
and then
Just
all of
carry
a
it with you.
sudden,
You're good.
I'm good
Turn
to go.
into the Hulk. You could also do that. You just Hulk out.
Like
Turn green.
like a Liz
Bruce
Lemon.
Banner's like-
This is imagine Hulk hands here. This is the only green thing I own.
Exactly. Okay, so it's Tuesday, which means we got to tell you about all the cool stuff that's coming out this week. It is new releases. First up, get out your Wii U controllers, everybody. We're just talking about Nintendo. Mario Party 10 is coming out this Friday. Listen, I'm really excited about it because I love Mario Party, and I'm happy they finally have one releasing on the Wii U because I got rid of my Wii when I got a Wii U. And so I'm ready to take my family down. We play Mario Party all the time. My mom and my brother and my sister and I, we love Mario Party. We play it. And I will crush them. I want to play in Bowser mode. This is a new thing where you can play as Bowser.
Yeah, I haven't even seen this. I haven't played Mario Party since the square one, the cube. So,
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, the GameCube.
It's been a minute, but I still have it and I still play all the time because it really is the
so
most fun. Like to
ridiculous.
play with your family because it works for all ages. This would actually be a really interesting one to see on mobile because it could kind of work as like mini
Do a
games.
couple mini games, yeah, and like
You know?
as a promo or whatever, and you could say like, oh, and this is what you get, if you're.
Yeah, like a free app that goes to like, it doesn't even really need to go to that many levels. Like
Yeah.
like 20 levels, but you can play with your friends over Bluetooth.
That would be really
That
fun.
would be like the best game ever, especially for like lines
I
of
like it.
anything, like going to see a show and you're waiting in line.
I'm into it. So yeah, that's Mario Party 10 this Friday, Wii U, and then we have this is interesting, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. So this game is actually a remake. It's a remaster, I should say, an HD remaster of a PlayStation Portable game
For
that came out-
only Japan, right?
came out in Japan and or in Asia and did not come to North America. So, and it was very highly lauded. People loved this game, and there was a lot of demand to bring it here, but it just never made it until now.
It looks great. Is that the HD version or is that
This
the
is
original?
the HD version. This is the trailer for the HD version.
Looks amazing. Final Fantasy always had the best graphics.
They do always have really nice cinematics.
was-
Really good. So I feel like I want to buy this. If you buy this, by the way, I don't know if it's still going because I feel like you had to pre-order it, but that might not be the case. Please don't take my word for it. Look this up. But I heard that if you either pre-ordered it or maybe just bought the game, you could play a demo of Final Fantasy 15. There's a full demo.
Oh, look, that's awesome.
Good incentive. Very good incentive to purchase this game because you can play the demo. It's the only way you can get the demo of Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, wow, that's actually really good marketing and
That's super
advertising
smart.
then because now you're going to want to buy this probably $50,
Just-
$60, $80 game.
Yeah, well, I think
So you
it's
can
cheaper than
preview
that
the new
actually.
one.
I think
Really?
it's even cheaper than that. Yeah, because it's not like I'll have to look at how much it is, but I liked that they kind of tied the demo to it, and I know that the team on Final Fantasy 15 was working really hard to get this demo ready for like this launch. Like this was that was a thing.
They're like, we're not even close
Like,
for
we
this
may not
demo,
make
but
it.
here you go. It's a demo. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Also out this week, Battlefield Hardline. So Cops and Robbers. You want to play Cops and Robbers?
Good old
Battlefield
Cops and
Hardline is
Robbers.
the game for you. It's basically like I said,
mean,
it's literally
it's
Cops and Robbers. It's
exactly
not
what it sounds
not a
like.
metaphor. It is you will play cops and there's robbers and it's you fight. It's a whole thing. So it's cops. But if you wanted a Battlefield game involving police, then
Yeah, it looks
that's
like
for
there
you.
was car chases, there was first-person
looks exciting.
shooter,
If
kind
you're
of
into that sort
everything.
of thing. Yeah. And then lastly in theaters, Insurgent comes out this week.
This movie looks really good.
I was very skeptical about this series because I was, you see the Hunger Games and you're just like, oh, it's another one of these like dystopian.
Oh my god, I totally love the
Young
Hunger
adult.
Games.
I do too.
Like
No.
I get the kitschiness
I
and
love the
campiness
Hunger
of it,
Games.
but I love it.
I love the Hunger Games, but then I saw this and I'm like, oh, another one of these. Like, oh, like I'm done with
And
this.
I love how it's always this actress. She's
I
in
know, it's
everything.
Shailene Woodley.
I
don't
think
know.
so.
She's
I don't
sort
know.
of-
I'm not even gonna pretend I know her
Shailene
name, but
Wood-
she's in everything.
She's in a bunch of stuff, but yeah, she plays Triss in this, and it's the second movie in a trilogy. Of course, it's always a trilogy. But I have to say, I caught the very first one, Divergent. I caught that on HBO like the other day, and I was like,
It's good.
This surprisingly did not suck. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't suck at all. It's actually pretty good.
Pleasantly surprised by that movie. Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, the ads they're doing for the promotions they're doing for this is really cool because they're using Oculus to promote it.
Ooh, using VR, very nice.
Yeah, it's like a 3D experience of like breaking through.
Oh, cool. So it's probably a little similar to like what they do in the movie, where it's like they have to do the tests or whatever.
There was a setup for it at the Grove on Saturday.
Oh, very
That's how I found out about all this.
That's pretty cool. But those are your new releases this week, or at least the ones we're excited about. But now it is time to talk about you. It's time for user feedback. I know, I do. I love Oculus. It's so exciting. So we asked our viewers yesterday to use the hashtag TDExplore. We did a story about a drone in a cave, the world's largest cave.
I saw that.
And so TDExplore was the hashtag, and we said, what would you want a drone to go check out for you that you would not want to do yourself? You guys had some really good answers. So up first, we have Matthew. And Matthew wrote in and said, I would like to see underwater volcanoes on a VR headset. And I like that.
Matthew, I totally agree with you. While I was watching, all I was thinking was underwater stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of people are scared of like scuba diving, and it's a lot of work.
And there's so much pressure, you can't even go down there.
Yeah, some of the deepest parts you can't even go to.
And we know more about space than we do about the ocean, which is crazy.
That is a little bit crazy.
It seems easier to do the ocean
because it's here.
Yeah,
but apparently not so. And then we have David wrote in and said, maybe the Vatican, but just to be sure, there are a lot of catacombs entrance and where they are, just for fun. I like this. I actually, the Vatican, like, secret library or whatever, where they have that archive, the Vatican archives, where they very rarely let people into, and there's all kinds of really old documents and stuff. It'd be cool to be able to, like, give one of the docents there a VR, like, headset, so you could experience
it without having to be there.
And of course, like, everything stays preserved. One of our next, I had to dive into like YouTube and email for this. So Logan, let's pull up the next one.
Real deep
I had to do a deep dive. We got an email.
Space.
Space. Chris wrote in and said, space. It would be amazing if Curiosity had an accompanying drone. The drone would be useful for solo missions or taking sweet footage of Curiosity roving around. Space drones, awesome. I agree.
Sponsored by Amazon Prime.
Sponsored by
Amazon
Prime
awesome.
Drone delivery. And then lastly, Rick wrote in and said, remember the Guardians of the Galaxy interactive site to explore Xandar and Nowhere? Well, combine it with VR. So basically it's not drones. Like you can't send a drone there, but you could combine that with VR. I guess that would be kind of a thing.
That would be kind of cool.
Could kind of explore the Nowhere and the jail and like, that'd be kind of fun. Xandar would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. I like how we took a fantasy effect to this.
Yeah, we took it just a little into geek pop culture.
You know.
I dig it. I can dig it. And then we always do every day on the show our very last piece of user feedback, which is our photographer of the day. So this photo comes from our viewer and friend Jason.
Okay.
Jason wrote into us and sent this lovely picture in. I always like it when people send in unorthodox phones. Like we get a lot of iPhones, but I always like to see and a lot of Samsung Galaxy.
Do you guys really? Because I feel like every time I watch, it's always like a random brand that I know,
I go out of
like,
my way.
I never see anyone hold.
I love to like see these pictures from other phone cameras because I don't know what they look like. So he wrote in and said, "This is a beautiful sunset I took with my Nokia Lumia 735 on my way home on the bus. It was just beautiful. I absolutely love the show. You guys make my week. I hate weekends because I can't watch my favorite show." Such a nice guy.
Hating a weekend.
Look at that nice picture.
Saturdays are the best.
Saturdays are the best. Well,
There's no responsibilities on Saturday.
Jason, you need some time to like just unwind after dealing with us all week. Like I understand.
Take the sunset in and
so
just
this beautiful
unwind.
sunset picture is amazing.
It makes me really like peaceful.
What could we add to it to make it like even better?
Well, because I like ridiculous things, I would like to see Reptar in the background, like burning something down.
Reptar? Okay, I dig it. I would go with ceiling cat, like looking out from the sky with maybe like a ray of light. Would be really nice.
Just really random stuff.
Super pretty.
We could turn it into a meme, post it on BuzzFeed, or CNET,
something. I repost them all the time. I put them up on our Tumblr. Speaking of which, if you want to send in your photography, Thank you, Jason, by the way. Thank you for sending that in. You can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. We will also accept hairstyling tips. We will accept story ideas, any kind of constructive criticism you have about the show. We're all ears.
Right? What's your
Questions?
favorite Pokemon?
Yeah, talk to us about Pokemon. I mean, it's totally good. We read all your emails. We can't answer all of them, but we do read them. And of course, if you absolutely hate email because you are a next-gen non-emailer, we're on social media.
Millennial, I
If
only tweet.
you're one of the kids who uses not email, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Tumblr. We're all Tomorrow Daily at those, and Tomorrow Daily TV over on Google+. And if you are on YouTube, I'm sure Armen knows what to tell you to do.
Oh, I love YouTube. You can start by going to youtube.com/HeyArmen.
Yes.
That's where I'll be. And then from there, you can check out my friends who are all on the side.
Yep, and if and so while you're subscribing to Armen's, you can subscribe to our channel, CNET's channel,
Yep.
and then of course give us all thumbs ups on all of our videos because we're the best ever.
Thumbs up everywhere.
So that is about it for the show. You're Hey Armen over on Twitter as well.
Yes. Hey Armen on everything except for Instagram. That is just Armen Atoyan.
Okay,
Because
fantastic.
some other schmuck has Hey Armen on that one.
if you are listening to us via iTunes, thank you so much for listening. The video experience is a little more exciting because we have B-roll, but we do appreciate you dealing with us and our ridiculous voices. That is it for the show. You can find me on Twitter at Ashley Esqueda. I will actually be back tomorrow with Gil from Nerdist Network podcast, The Mutant Season. This kid is 12 years old and is the most professional host ever that I have ever met. And I've met a lot of hosts.
That's crazy, and I love that. And I love that he's on the Nerdist of all things.
Yeah.
'Cause that just makes me so happy.
He is brilliant. This kid is brilliant. I was on his podcast a few weeks ago. He was fantastic. He's going to come co-host. He's going to sit in the chair opposite me tomorrow. We're going to see how it goes. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to have a lot. I think we're going to have so much fun. But I had a lot of fun with you. Thank you for coming, Armen.
Thank you for having me. This was a blast.
You've been a true delight amongst men. And we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new docket of weird future tech, science, robots, space, anything we can find and throw at you. But until then, be good humans. We'll see you next time. Bye.